Well, hello, 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 San Antonio. Good morning. My name is Victoria Cabrera with the Medicare Space live show every Friday at 10 a.m. And who do I have here?
Sylvia Toscano. How's everybody doing today?
Sylvia.
It's a little loud.
Oh, okay. Let me lower it because Sylvia.
I know I can't hear, but this time it's loud.
It's probably because I'm talking extra loud this morning,
We
or
all talk extra loud.
or I have this mic up a little too much.
Too.
So make sure you put your mic right. Man, why can't I hear you now? Maybe I lowered my.
I
Okay.
can hear you loud.
Okay, so let me.
There
lower
you go.
Okay,
Perfect. Yes.
okay, guys. Sorry, guys. We always have technical difficulties because we are not technical pros.
But we're getting there. Like a little train, choo choo, little by little. We're gonna get there.
All aboard!
All aboard!
Sweets Airbnb, pun intended. That was a plug for your Airbnb.
There it is.
If you're not in San Antonio, you need somewhere to stay, and you're looking for a cool Airbnb, Sylvia owns an
really nice Airbnb. It's an actual railroad boxcar.
When are you going to give us a free room? I thought you were going to give us a free room.
I told you anytime. We've been pretty booked this month. We've been blessed because COVID hit us really hard last year.
Gotcha.
We were empty for like 3 months, and then little by little, we started getting a couple of people maybe once a week.
Yeah,
every other week. So now we're like booked solid.
Trickling in.
Yes.
That is
so
awesome.
It's really good. So it's in an actual railroad boxcar. They've been there, supposedly they've been there since the early 1900s.
Okay.
And it was an actual depot.
Okay.
Back then. And then they kind of shut it down and they left 6 trains there, 6 actual boxcar.
Wow.
And they were there for years. Then they utilized them back in the 60s, and then they abandoned them. And then about 15 years ago, supposedly the city went in there and said, move them out or fix them up.
Wow.
And it was going to cost too much to move them out. So they just fixed them up, put bathroom in there and showers, or I did that.
Yeah.
And
I was gonna say, you did that.
And I originally had a deli. And so I still do catering, my daughter and I, Stephanie. And so, but I turned it into an Airbnb. So it's really cool. It's got 2 beds, 2 bathrooms, has a shower. It's really I do shadow.
Okay, can you hear us now? I think they can hear us now. Okay, that was my fault. We had a little disconnect in our service today. I think it's because Adriana's sitting in the back behind there.
Adriana's stalking us. We have a stalker today.
Okay, yes. Can you hear us now? You're good. We're good. Jessica says yes. Shirley, can you hear us? Steph, can you hear us? Let us know. We had a little malfunction. Okay, yes. They can hear it. Okay, guys. You know what? We are not technical, and I don't have, $80,000 or whatever you guys charge out there to hire a sound person. So we do it all ourselves. So
she's a sound person.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Jessica, Shirley, Stephanie, everybody that joins in every Friday. You guys are the best listeners ever. Be sure to share the show. When you share the show, when you like the little thing on Facebook, it allows this show to get seen to more people. And remember, me and Sylvia are trying to become the #1 show in San Antonio.
Where's my finger?
Or Texas, or nationwide.
Yes.
So Sylvia wants her finger. Hold on.
My finger.
The
#1.
She's losing her marbles and she lost her finger. There we go.
One day, guys. One day we're going to be #1 and you're going to say, oh, I remember when they were so silly and nonsense, and they're still the same.
Oh, yes. Well, let's get back, guys. So today we wanted to talk about a couple of things. I know I know a lot of people ask when they're joining the show is they say, what's the show about? I mean, I know it's called the Medicare Space, but what's it really about?
Should we change the name?
I don't know. We'll see. We're going to see if we're going to change the name.
Okay.
But what I was going to say is it's evolved into talking about more stuff. So, so we talk about just about anything. We talk about senior resources. We talk about resources in the community. We talk about Medicare information because we still have to stay true to our, I'm just going to turn this off for today. True to our name, which is the Medicare Space. And then we also talk funny stuff.
Right.
Last weekend, Sylvia cooked a little fun local.
And nobody sent me a recipe, so sorry, guys.
Y'all need to send her a recipe
They don't
she
listen.
can cook something.
They don't.
Or, Sylvia, would you be willing to go? No, never mind, because we don't know who's listening today, so we can't send you over to some random person's house to cook for them.
That's true. Unless it's in like the Dominion or something like that.
Oh, unless it's like the Spurs or Tony Parker.
Yes, they have a state-of-the-art kitchen, double wide oven, and 10 burners.
Oh,
then for sure I'll go.
Well, so this weekend, guys, we just wanted to acknowledge the holiday. I know a lot of you guys are going to be celebrating with family. And thank you, Shirley, for sharing the show. A lot of you guys are going to be spending time with family. We just ask that you be careful on the road.
Yes.
Even if you're not a drinker, be careful of the drinkers because there's still people that
be out there.
Yeah.
So
no, well,
we're just kidding.
We get
Don't
Ubers.
drink and drive.
Yeah, we get Ubers to pick us up. We already talked about this last week, right?
Yes.
So if you're drinking, even if it's 1 or 2, and you're not, you don't need to be out there driving. And also, there's other people out there, so try not to be on the road so much, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I know that you younger folks out there, I was there too.
Invincible.
And you guys think you're invincible because I used to be like that too.
Yeah.
We're not. So just be courteous, be aware, and also make sure that be smart about popping fireworks. Don't do it till 5 a.m. for God's sake. I'm trying to sleep and.
My area is pretty bad. I live by Woodlawn area. They started last night.
Mm-hmm.
So 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, I could hear them popping all over the place. And so I know tonight and the rest of the weekend, it's going to be nonstop.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm going to buy any. I buy them for New Year's, but I usually don't for 4th of July, but I live so close to Woodlawn Lake that from my backyard, I could see Woodlawn Lake, and then I'll be able to see all the fireworks.
Yeah, well, I know Woodlawn Lake is very, very pretty. That's in San Antonio. For those of you that are not in San Antonio, it's a very pretty area where you could look at and the dogs too. So
yes, the dogs.
Speaking of the dogs, if you're wondering why I keep looking down, I brought my little puppy to work today, and she's actually sitting on my feet. So I'm squirming around over here in my seat. So we had a malfunction today.
Right on top of me.
We have Mila sitting on my feet. She has her butt's sitting on Sylvia's feet, keeping her little toes warm.
I don't want to step on her.
Oh, what? No fireworks? No, I didn't say no fireworks, Stephanie. I said for those of you guys that are popping fireworks, just be safe because, like,
right,
you know, there's a lot of crazy fireworks now. Like, they look like bombs these days. And then also make sure that you're just safe. I mean, I'm sure that you're getting a lot of this on the local news from the fire departments and things like that. But we have to also be safe and also be courteous to our seniors too. Our seniors are not up till like 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. So if you have senior neighbors and, you know, they're kind of like they're not up all night, just be aware of that. But we can't help it. It's 4th of July. People are up all night, which is fine. We celebrate, which is fun. We're going to be in Corpus celebrating, doing the same thing. We just ask, one, if you're going to drink, don't drive. Just get an Uber or stay at your family's house. Number 2, if you're going to be popping fireworks, you know, there's a reasonable time to stop. And also be safe because, you know, the fire, it's in certain areas, depending on where you're from, you may have not been getting a lot of rain like us.
We're blessed to have gotten a lot of rain.
And even when we do get rain, it's like, God, it's like HE double toothpicks over here. Hey, no, if you did bad, you know, no, you're not in Hill, you're just in San Antonio.
Sometimes it feels like it. And the dogs. We have to be careful with the dogs. Put them in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Exact on Sunday when the fireworks go off around town. I know SeaWorld has them. I believe Fort Sam Houston has them. Randolph. A lot of the places, the military have fireworks at about 8 or 9. Put your pets away. Put them in the bathroom. Cover their ears, something, because they get upset. That's what I do every year. I put them in the bathroom. They can still hear it, but I put on the radio as loud as I possibly can to try to drown out some of that noise from the fireworks. But just do what you can. Take care of your babies.
Yeah.
And I have a new baby too.
You have 2 babies, one big one and one small one.
I just got Lulu last week.
Oh, Lulu.
She's 4 pounds. She's half lab black and half Dalmatian. So she's going to be a beast.
Little Lulu.
She's got huge paws.
Who has dogs in here? If you have a dog, let us know. 1, what kind of dog you have. 2, how long you've had them.
And the names.
And the names. We want to know. You know, it's funny because my family always makes fun of me. They're like, Victoria, oh my, and even some of my friends that have known me for like 20 years, they're like, where did this come from? Like, you used to be not about pets. Like, I was never like.
That's what my brother tells me.
I was not not like a pet lover. Like, I was not mean to pets, and I was always like, hey, bring him inside or whatever. But I was not like the way I am with. When I first met Carmenza, that was the first dog I ever actually loved was Frida, and then we got Mila during COVID, and she's just our little baby. So. Anyways, like we said, we try to talk about Medicare, but we always talk about our real life stories because we do have a holiday coming up, and we always like to chit chat. For those of you listeners, you guys always know that we like to chat it up before we actually get into information
and in between some time.
So we talk about like this much entertainment.
And then as much information.
So if you like that kind of show, come and join us.
You're on the right station. Or the right website or whatever it's called.
Ooh, Mila, guys. Mila. Oh, poor Mila.
You have to go to the bathroom?
No. Guys, let me tell you, this is. Come here, Mila. Mila just tooted on us, guys. Man, she just hotboxed us in here.
Okay, Mila. It's coming down.
Oh, she got excited.
Okay. Come here, babies.
It's okay, guys. This is a live show. Stuff's going to happen.
Come here.
TVs are going to turn off. Noises are going to shut down.
Yes.
Your dogs are going to fart on your show.
She smells my puppies.
Oh my god. Okay, so
Stephanie
says I do. I have 1 chocolate lab lady, will be 15 this year, a Dutch Dachshund, and Stitches is 10 years. She is 10. Dang, that's good. Jessica, 2 German Shepherds, Siri, Kimber, 9 years old, and Coco. Coco, yes,
I love Coco.
Coco Poodle, 9 years old. 1 cat, Sizzy, found us 2 months ago, and 3 pair. Dang, Jessica, I didn't know you had that many And they're all girls, just girls, all girls. Wow. If you're just joining in, we were sharing our pet stories here. If you have pets, let us know. We have our pet Mila, which is my little baby. She's about 1.5 years old. She's a mix, and she just kind of let some, puppy gas out on us. So, and I took her out this morning just to make sure, but it happens. So what do we want to talk about today, Sylvia?
I was watching the news this morning.
The
business station, they were talking about unemployment and how bad the unemployment, everybody's having a hard time, first of all, hiring people. They're giving them more money, incentive, bonus, things like that. And a lot of people are just also not going to go back to the workforce. A lot of them are going to retire, or they're making them retire. Not really kind of twisting their arm. It's time for y'all to move on, and get out of here. And the people I think that are most being affected are the seniors, us, me. I'm blessed to have a job that I can continue doing until I can do it. Like my dad used to say, if you want to eat, you've got to work. And that's basically my job. And so a lot of seniors, unfortunately, they might have a little nest egg, a retirement, but if they don't, and they're still healthy and they want to work, what do they do? Where do they go? Having to start, they don't want to start waiting tables or going and working at a fast food restaurant. And they might have had a professional job in an office, and now they're out there with no other skills, and then what do they do? Where do we go? I put myself in their place. If that was me, what am I going to do at my age, having to start all over and finding a new job?
It's crazy. We were talking about this yesterday on this very topic of the unemployment is crazy right now, but there's a lot of jobs, like you said. But number two, that the seniors in those corporate positions, they're not getting weeded out, because I hate to say that, but let's be honest, they're being given like a real nice little pension package to say, hey, if you retire in 2 years, you'll get this, right? And I was talking to this individual on Clubhouse. It was really interesting. If y'all haven't been on that app, it's great for business owners or any type of subject that you want to learn about. You kind of just listen into the room. But he was telling me, because I was kind of discussing some of these things with him, and he was telling me he's 62. He's a business owner, and all right, there we go. And he says he has a lot of years left in us. He's approaching Medicare, and he's like, I don't intend to leave anytime soon. So with that being said, we wanted to address people that are retiring. Have you experienced that? What are your thoughts on that? Do you still want to work past the age of 65? What are your thoughts on that? Because I know a lot of people are either in a position to still work, and they're just,
they were healthier nowadays. Compared to 50 years ago. Nowadays, we're living into our 75, 80, and we could still be productive, and we could still work, up to 70. I know some seniors that are 75. I know a senior who's 85. He has his own barbershop, and he still works for full time. So, it's not a strenuous job, but he still gets up 5-6 days out of the week and is there at 10 o'clock till 6 o'clock every day, So if you're in that senior category, or maybe you're young and you know somebody that is in that category, let us know what your thoughts are, because we want to create something really special, and it's not going to probably be rolled out till probably next year, but we're going to be, Sylvia and I were talking about this as a company. We really want to help not only on the Medicare side of things, but we see that there's an opportunity and a need to help more people that are in this like 55 and up range, or 60 and up range. Because even when I talked to my mom's like, wow, like she's been working a long time, and her job now is not as, she's still on her feet all the time. But I'm like, what are your thoughts? Like, are you going to want to stay with the company for much longer? Like, what are your thoughts? So I'm curious, if you're in that 60 and up range, are you still working? Do you plan on still working for the next 5 years, the next 8 years, the next 12 years?
what are your thoughts on that? And also depends on if you own your own business. Like you own your own business, so you can go till freaking 90 if you want, right? And like Sylvia says, we are living longer with the technology and the medicine and all the new things that are just coming out for to make us live longer.
Right.
We're going to have to work longer. And I can foresee that maybe Social Security, I wonder if they'll even like bump it up in age. Like, do you think that might happen in the future? Saying like, hey, the new age for the new age now for Social Security is going to be X rather than this.
Right.
I always wonder like what's going to happen, especially with all these,
And a lot of seniors are waiting till, because they can start at 62. A lot of them get it at 65 when they get their Medicare, because I think a lot of them think they have to have both of them to get Medicare, and they don't. They can get Social Security or they can get Medicare and not the Social Security. As long as you pay, through your bank or monthly payments or whatever for Medicare, you do not have to get Social Security. And I think that's the biggest misconception when it comes to getting Medicare. I see a lot of them talking to people that are aging in, waiting till 67, 68. Yep, up to 70.
There's this like bridge, like so what Sylvia is saying is when you reach 62, most individuals can start drawing Social Security to get that, extra payment, extra income coming in. Some will wait till their full retirement age, so they'll wait to draw that. But some people, like Sylvia was saying, some people will think that, well, I have to draw Social Security to get my Medicare.
Right.
And also on the other side of that, some people think that they qualify for Medicare when they get their Social Security, and that's not true, because you have to actually be 65 to get your Social Security, or had been on disability for 24 consecutive months. And there's other factors, like if you get ALS or if you get end-stage renal disease, then you can get it immediately. But in the majority of cases, you have to be either 65 and up, or you have to meet these other qualifications. So those people that are turning 62, and I get these questions all the time from friends texting me like, hey, my mom or my dad's going to get Social Security. Can they get Medicare now because the insurance is so expensive? And I'm like, well, what's their situation? How old are they? And they might say, well, they're only 62. And I'm like, no, they're going to have to wait unless they meet those other qualifications.
Right.
But most of the time, they're still healthy. They're still working. They want to
want to work.
And they want to work. Yep.
And they want to work. And I have I was at one of my clinics on Wednesday, and she was asking me the same thing, because her husband will be turning 62 the end of the year. And she was asking, well, because they're paying an arm and a leg for insurance. And he has his own company. And so he was going to start drawing Social Security in November, and she wanted the Medicare. And I'm like, okay, like you say, is he disabled? Has he always had it? Blah, blah, blah. And no, he's healthy. He doesn't have, I mean, he's still going to work, but it's unfortunately now he has to wait till he's 65 to get Medicare. And in the meantime, pay this crazy premium for insurance.
Yeah. It's always situational. Like, we hate to put anyone in just this one cat. So like when people call us and they say, hey, is it like this? And we're like, well, hey, we got to dig more. Right. Like, I know Adriana's sitting over here. She's going to be our sit-in. So let me announce something, guys. Sylvia is going to be off. Next week. And the week after.
So I go back to the senior center today on Thousand Oaks. I'm so happy and so excited, because I haven't been there since last March, and I miss my seniors. So I'm going to start. I usually would be there on Thursdays, and they're closed on Thursdays.
Okay.
I'm not sure, for whatever reason. So I'm going to start being there on Fridays from 11:30 to 3:30.
So needless to say, Sylvia has to leave a little early.
Jackrabbit out of here. I don't know what that means, but I'm leaving out of here early.
So we have a beautiful stand-in over here in the background. You haven't seen her yet. Her name is Adriana Rodriguez. She's actually going to be filling in for Sylvia, not only the last 15 minutes of today.
And then next week, the senior center is having a big grand opening.
Okay.
At 9:00, they're going to have all these vendors and activities.
Man, I wish we could take the podcast over there.
Maybe I can.
Maybe we could take the podcast to the senior center. Maybe they'll let us do that. We could make it happen.
Okay. That would be great.
I think we can.
Yeah. So we're going to do that. And then the following weekend, I'm on vacation.
Oh, okay. So Sylvia, pretty much in a nutshell, Sylvia, our beautiful host over here in the pink with the fancy, nice pearls, bedazzle. The fake nice pearls. She is not going to be with us for the next 2 weeks. So we have our lovely stand-in over here, Adriana Rodriguez. She's going to be really shy, and she's not shy. So you'll get to meet her the last few minutes of the show. So stick around. If you just joined in, thank you so much for joining in every Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And so be sure to hit the notifications, like the business page, so you can get notifications every time we go. And if you want to rewatch them, go subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Medicare Space on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. We're everywhere. So anyway, going back to our conversation, we were talking about seniors that were still wanting to work past the age of 65 or even 60. We were curious to know if you're listening in, have a mom, dad, aunt, uncle, or maybe you're that person that's kind of in that limbo state. Let us know. Are you still struggling to say, man, I really want to still work, but I really it's very tempting to just go and collect my Social Security and let go of this work. Let us know what your thoughts are. Do you know somebody that's experiencing that right now? Are you experiencing that right now? We kind of want to know. Sylvia and I have something very special in the works. And actually, I'm very when I have an idea, I haven't even planned it out yet. And I don't even know what that's going to look like. I like to announce things that haven't even happened yet. So
she told me, and I jumped on the bandwagon because every time she tells me something, I add on to it. And so I'm like, okay. Yeah. All right. This sounds good. We're going to do this and we're going to do that. And then tomorrow we're going to talk about it in our podcast. And so here we are. Yep.
So we really want to talk to you guys that are in that situation where you really you have the energy, you have the need, you have the want to still work, but you don't, maybe something holding you back. We're going to create something really special for you guys. So that probably won't be rolled out till probably next year because we're coming up to a really busy season here with Medicare. But keep that in mind. Okay. I just want you to keep that in back of your minds. And once we roll this out, it's going to be probably one of the most special things that I've seen in a very, very, very long time. And anybody that's a part of it, any agent, any staff member that's a part of it, we're going to be onto something really, really big for not only the Medicare space, for the seniors out there and possibly people that want to help seniors. So stick around, follow us, hang out with us, because it's going to be something super special. When you start hanging around with people that do big things, you start wanting to do big things. I'm a big believer in that. So here we are. And Sylvia is always my go-to person. She's like, heck yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
She doesn't even question what the cost is going to be, what it's going to look like. She's going to have to sign her soul over to me.
I'll pay half, I say.
So we just want to kind of let you guys, I can't wait to hear about it. Yes. And also Shirley said, I have 5 outside cats that are rescued, mommy and her baby, several years ago. And when the neighbors do fireworks, they disappear for 24 hours. Oh, yeah, that happens a lot.
Yes. And my daughter has about 5 cats too.
And Shirley says, I can't wait to hear about it, Victoria. Yes, Shirley, you know what? We don't have all the details yet, but we will. But we know it's going to be
on it. Our minds are.
Yeah, we're just and you know what? That's why we ask for y'all's feedback, because we want to know the inside. Sylvia will tell me her thoughts, but to me, I still see Sylvia as my, 30-year-old, because we'd like to do 30-year-old things,
My mind is 30, my body is.
So we need the minds of people that are 60 and over. And I will say my mom gives me the greatest ideas. She'll just say something, even when it comes to social media, she's like, oh, you need a hashtag this and I'm like, dang, mom, okay, all right.
That's so what she was teaching me about hashtag. I have no idea what that is.
So
I'm like old school. She gets mad because I always forget my passwords and I can never get in the particular website. And so I'm like, Victoria, please.
Guys, I help lead a team of 30 people. I lead a team of 30 and not counting internal staff, but just 30 agents. And every time they come in, they're like, oh, what was my password again? I'm like, really? Like, you want me to learn all your passwords for every, like, and it's weird because a lot of times I do. I'm like, I think it was this, and it's right. Or
it's right.
Try this one, because I get to know my agents and they become like family and friends. And like, sometimes I freak myself out. I'm like, how did I remember that? I can't even remember where I put my keys in the morning.
I'm always using my keys.
Victoria, I don't think like 60 no, you don't, Shirley. You do not think like a 60. I don't know if I should say this, but Miss Shirley, when I first met her, she was like this like angel, because she was at the parade, when San Antonio does these parades. And she was out there with a bottle of something. I'm not going to say what it was. It was a big bottle of water, and I was really thirsty, and she was just pouring everybody water in their cups at the parade. And so, yes, Miss Shirley, you are not a 60-year-old plus. And actually 60-year-old, now that I look at
what
it,
did they say?
All my friends are like
40s or something.
Okay, so one of my best friends, Terry, I'm gonna say yes. He'll get mad if I say it, but he's around that age.
My age. I lie all the time. I don't even
Shirley,
know how old I am.
I mean, girl, you're like, Vivian. Oh my goodness. I mean, Isabel. Like, when I look at most of my agents that are like, they're out there killing it more than the young agents that I have on my team. So I'm gonna say like the 60 is the new 40. What do y'all think?
Work ethics. I think.
Yeah,
because of our age, we were brought up in a different era than
in the Woodstock days.
Yeah, exactly.
Y'all stayed out till like 5 days in a row.
My daughter tells me that I live the life of a rock star because I'm always going somewhere.
See, I told you.
And drinking and not drinking and partying, but she's like, Mom, and my brother and I were talking about that because he was saying his kids were telling him that we grew up in a completely different era and our work values are so different than the young people nowadays, Do
you guys agree with that? Let us know if you agree that what was the
I think our work values were different. I think we worked harder because we had less,
Okay.
And I think nowadays
everything's just easy.
It's easier. And I think as a parent, and I'm the first to admit that we've spoiled our children a little bit too much.
Yeah.
And we give them too much.
Don't let me see your children on the street. Don't let me see, because you know what? We were spanked as children. And if I have a belt, which I never do because my pants are already tight without one, I will pull out my belt and I will spank your kids, okay? Because some of your kids, y'all know who your kids are. They need to get spanked or something. And some of you that are like, oh my God, Victoria, we don't believe in violence and spanking your kids. Oh my God, whatever.
When they grow up and they start doing violent things to other people, they're going to wish they would have.
Let me tell you, when I go to Corpus and my nieces and nephews are like talking back to like my sisters, or they like not talk back, yell, but like, ugh. And I'm like, what did you say? Like I don't care if you're my niece, my nephew, my friend's kid, some stranger's kid. If you're acting a fool, I'm going to let you know.
Yep.
Because you know what? I agree with you. I think with that generation, you guys were, held up to, you had to work hard. The technology wasn't there. It wasn't like you didn't have things handed to you just like in the matter of seconds. So we've become this impatient society where I want it now. Like I even find myself like, they haven't gotten back to me. And I'm like, it's only been 10 minutes, Victoria. Like, I'm like, no, but I need an answer now.
I went to kind of talking about the same thing. I went to McDonald's yesterday and no, don't go there.
You're not supposed to be going to McDonald's, Sylvia, but okay, go ahead.
Okay. For coffee.
Okay, coffee.
I went for coffee. And so it was $2.05. So I gave her $5.
Okay.
And she was going to make change. And I had a quarter on the side. So I handed her the quarter and she looked at me. And then she turned around and she looked at the register for like 30 seconds. I could see her mind thinking, what the heck? She gave me back $2.20. And I told her, you owe me $1. She's like, no. I go, yes, I gave you $5. She goes, but I gave you $2.20. I go, yes, but you gave me $5. I gave you $5. So, and then she thought about it. She had to call the manager to open the till. And I'm thinking, these kids, and she was young. She was probably a teenager. She couldn't she couldn't count. She couldn't, because nowadays everybody has a calculator.
First of all, where did you get a quarter from? Because I haven't seen a quarter in so long.
I have tons of change in my car and in my sofa. And I called my brother. He's got 2 grandkids. And I called him. I told him, James, you're going to have to go and get some money and change and teach those girls how to make change.
Yeah.
They have to get off and add on their own without the calculator. I just couldn't believe it.
Well, like we said, we always get off on the wrong road. We talked about spanking kids.
About people.
We talked about our dog hotboxing us in here with her little gas. We talked about how the certain generations are better than others. We barely talked about Medicare stuff.
No, okay. Let's do a Medicare. What time is it?
So like I said, guys, this show has evolved outside of just Medicare information. We love to provide Medicare information. Yes. Don't get me wrong. We have pre-recorded stuff on our YouTube channel. We will give you all the information you need. We do want to still bring value in all kinds of ways, but sometimes that's through laughter. Sometimes that's through resources. Sometimes that's through just talking about everyday stuff that maybe somebody's doing rather than others. And sometimes that's talking about spanking your kids.
Some of them need to be spanked. Some of mine need to be spanked.
Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not a violent person, but when we were getting pinched, or when we were, put it on there. When we were getting pinched, or sorry, Mom.
I used to pinch
my mom, when we were in
the
grocery store acting up. Did you ever get that pinch?
You see, Stephanie, I wasn't the only one. My mom used to do that, and I used to do that to my kids.
Yeah. So if you pinched your kids behind the arm, I want to know, don't be hiding behind that.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
The worst thing.
Yeah. Well, and I get it, because there's some people that take it overboard and they don't know how to do it. Maybe spanking for me was so normal that we just thought it was normal. Maybe that's not the solution, but
they used to spank at school.
Wow.
I never got spanked, but I remember kids getting spanked at school. They did something wrong, take them in the principal's office, and they get
we're becoming a very controversial show here.
I know we are.
Kids. Okay, so don't listen to me, guys, because I am not a parent. I just know that
own opinion. This is not the opinion of the Medicare Space. This is just our personal opinion.
We will definitely be getting a nice little letter here. Don't spank your kids. We were just
spank
joking.
Your kids. Let them be sport brats and run around. And
I gave the evil eye. Yeah, so you just did it behind closed doors, Shirley. You didn't do it in public. That's good. No. That's good. So, guys, we want to talk about one thing, because we were talking about earlier about people that are over the age of 60 that are kind of in this limbo state of wanting to leave their job, but they still want to work. They don't want to work full time, but they don't want to work part time. And a lot of jobs out there, they are hiring part time. There's an opportunity out there for you to find things that are outside of your comfort zone, that you don't have to so much be labor work or like serving tables or something. So that's why I'm really excited about what we're going to announce next year. And I can't wait. And if you have more questions, you can always direct message us, and we'll kind of give you a snippet of what it's going to look like. But
or do you want to start with us from the ground up?
Yeah,
we can use them.
Yeah. Let us know. We can always use the help. But we definitely want to. We definitely want to be providing value always to our seniors. That is the goal.
Right.
And tell me if you like the word senior, because a lot of people are like, we're not a senior.
I don't like that word.
Yeah, so we got to come up with a better word for you guys. So what do you want to be called? Because when we talk about, when we say senior, we talk about people that are usually 65 and up, right? But all my friends, like, if I were to call them a senior, they're in their 60s. Like, I feel weird. Like, I can't call Sylvia a senior.
You better not.
So
it's insulting.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You're probably out there listening and saying, I don't like to be called a senior. Or
we're all categorized in that. Everywhere I go, the movies, I like to go to the
you like senior when you get a discount. Let me tell you.
No, I don't. I go to the horse track, big old sign, seniors, $5. Everywhere you go, seniors, and sometimes I do get it when I first became a senior, I was embarrassed. I was like, I don't want people to know I'm a senior, especially if I was with a date and I lied to him about my age. And here I'm asking for the senior discount. Can't you word it something different?
My God.
And I got busted a couple of times doing that.
So it happens when you're young. You're lying about your age.
And it happens
older.
when you're old.
When it happens when you're older, and you lie about your age when you want to be younger. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And I know you're not the first one that does that. I've heard a few people that have kind of given the wrong age or date of birth there
by accident. Of course, always by accident.
That is so funny. So it's 10:40, Sylvia. Okay. I don't know.
Guys, I've got to go. Stop by the Senior Center on Thousand Oaks. I will be back in 3 weeks.
3 weeks. We're gonna miss
see me out there. Don't run me over. Say hello.
We are going to take about 30 seconds to come get in our stand-in, which is going to be Adriana Rodriguez. Everybody give her a hand. All right. Give her a hand there. So Sylvia's going to take off. She's not going to be with us for the next 2 weeks. Thank you guys so much for joining in. As always, we always have fun. Be careful with my camera. Thank you so much. No, and Mila, you can't go anywhere. Come on over here in the hot seat, Adriana. All you got to do is put on those little plugs or put on those earphones. Let me know if you can hear. We're just taking about 20 seconds trading off, and then you got to talk right in the mic with Sylvia's hot breath there. Okay. So we were talking to you guys. So let me introduce Adriana Rodriguez. She is one of our members of our staff. She's been with us for 3 months now. If you need help with Medicare, have Medicare questions, she's probably going to be the one that you're going to talk to, because I do get really busy. So a lot of the times I will put you in touch with Adriana. Say hi, Adriana.
Hello, everybody.
So she says she's nervous, but she's a natural being on camera. So what do you think of the show so far?
I love it.
Do you think, now that you see behind the scenes with Sylvia and everything, what do you think? Do we talk too much about random crap, or do you like it better than talking about just boring insurance stuff?
No, I think it's fun. I think that the way that you all deliver the information is great.
Yeah.
You need a little humor, I think.
Yeah. And don't think that, she's pretty funny herself. So if you guys seen the Instagram or if you've seen our YouTube, she's a character as well. So, so everybody say hi to Adriana. If you just joined in, she's going to be our stand-in for the next 2 weeks. We're going to be talking about a number of topics come next Friday, and then the Friday after that. And then Sylvia will be back with us around that time. But, we all have to take off, and we all have to, take a little break sometimes. So hopefully when I need to take a break, I'm going to teach these girls how to work all this stuff. So that way I don't have to be here to set everything up, and we're less likely to miss a show, right?
Yes.
So what do you think we should talk about next week? Because I know, where did you come from? Like, what industry did you come from before this?
So I came from the gym industry. I was doing that for about 10 years.
Ooh, so those of you that like to go to the gym, that need a workout, Adriana's going to be your girl. So I think it would be appropriate. What do you think if we talk about some of the crazy stories that you ran into without kind of saying where you worked and who you worked for?
I have tons of stories.
Yeah. So
all the years of working in the gym.
Yeah.
I have a lot of
and
stories.
Let's not say who, because we don't want to get a lawsuit on our hands. You know what I mean? But we will say so next week, we're going to talk about some stories of the gym. Some of the things that you can access within your plan, some of the gyms that you can go to if you're already on a health plan with Medicare. Some of the I'm not a trainer. You're not a trainer. So we're not going to give you that kind of advice. We're just going to help you kind of get an inside look on some of the things that you can access within your plan, and then some funny stories that we've experienced. I haven't been to the gym in a while, so I haven't really got to experience any funny stories lately. And guess what? Speaking of gym, what did we buy for the office?
You bought a treadmill yesterday.
And then we all put it together, and Adriana was like, when we were carrying the treadmill in, because it was just her and I, What did you say? How much did you think it weighed?
I said it weighed like 400 pounds.
She's like, we're carrying 400 pounds here. And I'm like, what? Like, we're going to get a hernia or something. Like, this is not good. And then all of a sudden, when we get the thing in, right? I'm like, how many pounds was this? Like, because I'm sweating like crazy. And how many pounds was it?
It was 153.
It was 153 pounds. She's like, this is like 400 or 500 pounds right here.
It felt like it. It was hot outside though.
Yeah.
So.
And Bonacita, she didn't expect to, I always put her in these situations where I'm like, let's go do this and let's go do that. And yesterday I was like, you know what? I got to kick this in high gear. I need to get a treadmill for the office because I've been making excuses, right? I don't get to the gym in the morning. So I'm like, I can't wake up early. And then when I get home, I'm like, I'm tired. And then what did you tell me the other day? You came into my office and what happened?
I told you that you should get a treadmill and put it in your office.
And yeah. And I was like, well, thanks you for telling me I'm fat.
No, you told me that you were needing to lose weight. So I was like, okay, I'm a person that's like solution driven. So I'm like, you have a problem, I'll find you a solution. So I was like, the solution is to buy a treadmill and put it in your office and then you won't have any excuses.
Exactly. So I'm going to go do like 30 minutes on the treadmill before I leave here today. And Adriana was like, all right, we just got to get it done. So we got a treadmill. We'll put it together. We're going to be posting a funny video later on how it took 5 people.
It did.
5 ladies to put it together.
It was awesome though. It was a bunch of teamwork. Girls were awesome. I'm a girl mom, so I'm going to say girls rule.
Hey, let me ask you, do you spank your kids?
So y'all were talking about pinching on the back of the arm. That's my mom. Sorry, mom, if you're watching, but it's true. She denies it. But she would pinch us on the top. It's like she would pinch us at the store very discreetly.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that would hurt.
Yeah.
I would say like a swat every now and then. I mean, if they're not paying attention, you know, but yeah, I'm not against it.
We don't want to come out on like SA Live or something like the Medicare Space believes in spanking children next at 10 a.m.
Well, if we get more, people on here, that would
hey,
that would be free.
No publicity is bad publicity.
That's
right?
True. So I mean, if they want to put us on SA News, please do.
What do you guys want to listen to these next couple of weeks? Next week we're going to talk a little bit about gym and things like that, and because Adriana used to work for a gym for about 10 years. But what do you guys want to listen? I have a sister Josie that would throw I have a sister Josie that would throw a shoe at us. Oh, I didn't know this. Interesting.
I think we all got a shoe thrown at us as kids by our siblings.
That's so funny.
I'm pretty sure my kids have done it to each other.
Excuse me, everybody. That's funny. Well, we don't have too much time left, guys. I want to tell you, thank you so much for joining the show today. Please join us next Friday at 10 a.m. We're going to talk about, I know we kind of announced something that we're going to be rolling out next year, which is going to be super, super, super exciting. Adriana's going to assist in it. Sylvia is going to assist in it. And any staff that works with the Medicare Space or any independent agents, we're going to create a movement. And I'm so, so proud of it. And we haven't even talked about the exact details yet, but I'm super excited. It's all going to, it's all like the circle of life, right? And so I think we're going to create something very, very special at the Medicare Space, and that'll be announced probably next year. I know I'm kind of giving y'all like a little teaser just because we haven't created it yet. And we don't want to give all the details that are not solidified. And so we're super excited. So anybody that joins us in this movement is going to be really a part of something big, something special. And I'm super excited about it. Adriana's going to, we're going to have to give her a little mimosa next time she comes in so she could loosen up.
Well, first of all, thank you. It's an honor. I mean, truly to sit in for Sylvia.
Yeah. Sylvia. So if Sylvia looks a little different, it's Adriana, because Sylvia has to be at the senior center, soon. They're going to be doing, I'm actually going to see if we can, she's going to ask if we can actually be there, next week, maybe doing a live show for them. So guys, thank you so much for joining in. I know we're cutting out a little early. I just see my computer is going to die here, but we also want to thank you so much. Have a safe, happy 4th of July. Please be safe. Put your dogs somewhere safe. I have mine sleeping with us right now. And also please don't drink and drive, whatever you do, please, please, please. I know that, and for those of you that don't drink, just be aware of people that are on the road. There's some crazies out there that don't really, that still get behind the wheel. So be careful. Please be careful. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your friends. And what are we going to do next week? We're going to see them at Friday.
Yes, at 10 a.m.
Central Standard Time.
Yes.
And we're going to give her a mimosa next week because I know she looks nervous right here. And so we're going to get her a mimosa next week so that way she can loosen up. And then we're going to give y'all a really, really great show next week, guys. Thank you so much for joining in. And we will see you on the next show.